I'ma say it. These folks is whack as fuck today. Then again, it may be user error. But I'm on this bitch. Uh-oh. Make sure. Hang on, y'all. Alright. YouTube didn't want me to be great. That's all that was. They did not want me to be fucking great. Bitches. Hey, Janice. Because I have to show y'all what somebody made for me. Hey, Kitty Cool. I had planned on using my new intro and all of that shit, but then YouTube was being a bitch, kept saying it couldn't connect, StreamYard can't connect, yada yada, all type of shit, so I had to do it from my phone. But we're here, because I know folks been asking for this update as far as Tyre and where we stand with this. Hey, Rondi. Hey, Pika. Hey, Pika, you like how I did that now? You ain't got to worry about it no more? I made your job easy, baby. You like that? I figured that part out. So if you want to troll, you got to be a fucking sub to troll me. Sorry. And I ain't no minute, bitch. You got to be 5 minutes in this game to troll me. Sorry, not sorry. Because my time too goddamn valuable. You're welcome. No, that was the first thing I was looking for. I'm like, how the fuck do you... I know for a fact you can do it. How the fuck do you do it? I figured that part out. Figured StreamYard out. That's what took me so long is because I called somebody for guidance and help because I want to start doing this the right way. But of course, YouTube wanted to be a bitch today. No, I'm not a minute bitch. I'm not. If you want to troll me, you gotta be around here 5 minutes or longer, baby. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. But, because I've shared my intro with only one person, and I love it. I'll probably make it longer eventually, but I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna show y'all. Hopefully next week. Hopefully. And shout out to Dutch for doing that for me. So thank you, Dutchy. I appreciate it. I really do. And Peak, I don't know if you have it, but if you can, drop Dutchy's link if you have it. I'm of course pretty sure most of y'all know who Dutch is. If you don't, Dutch for the Missing. She is an awesome creator. She covers missing people, things like that. So check her out if you haven't. I appreciate the hell out of Dutch. She's an awesome lady, kind lady. She walks the walk and she talks the talk. Period. So, shout out to her. And I appreciate that because she did not have to do that, but she took the time to do it, and I like it. So, all right. Okay. So we're going to talk about Tyre's case, where we're at with that. As some of y'all probably already heard, A second officer has taken a plea on the federal side. They have two different cases going on. On the federal side, he did plead guilty to two charges. The other two charges that were attached, they got dropped. They are recommending 40 years. Well, the recommended sentence is 40 years, but of course they're not gonna get 40 years. I'm gonna be honest, they're not. So, um, but a second officer has changed his plea and he has pled guilty. Um, Ain't nonsense. So on Friday they had court. Emmett Martin III, he did plead guilty to violating Tyre Nichols' civil rights Friday afternoon. The last minute plea deal comes just over 2 weeks before the criminal case was set to go to trial. That's for the federal case. They have two different cases going on. You got the federal and you got state. On the federal level, they never charged them with murder charges. They never got any murder charges on the federal level. But on the state side, on the state side, they they got murder charges against them. Man, if y'all don't fucking cut that shit out, and I guarantee the fuck. I already know it's one of them badass kids playing with this shit, man. Now, if I get up and go walk and knock on their fucking door, they gonna say I did them wrong. Anyway, Emmett Martin III is the second of the officers to plead guilty. Each of the officers, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, and Justin Smith were federally charged with using excessive force, deliberate indifference, conspiracy to witness tamper, and obstruction of justice via witness tampering. That's what they were charged with federally. Martin pled guilty to the use of excessive force and conspiracy witness tampering. All other counts have been dropped. The DOJ recommended a sentence not to exceed 40 years, but Judge Mark Norris has the final say as far as sentencing and what he'll be sentenced as far as federal wise. Martin sat with his attorneys during the hearing throughout the case. Many court dates, Martin and the co-defendant sat in the audience seats. His attorney was gaslighting the fuck out of folks Friday. He put out this statement, which kind of irritated and pissed me the fuck off because I said, what a way to motherfucking gaslight the people. What a good way. Touche, motherfucker, touche. Driven by anger, Emmett Martin used excessive force on Tyre Nichols on January 7, 2023. Stephen Ross Johnson, one of Martin's attorneys, said after the hearing, driven by fear, he tried to cover it up. I'm going to stop right there. What fear did he have for him to maliciously beat a man? What fear did he have to the point where he lied on paperwork, committed perjury, to the point where he tried to change the events of what happened, once again committed perjury, tried to make it seem as if Tyre was the aggressor. What fear did you have? What? You were scared police was gonna turn on you? Like, I'm trying to figure out what fear did you have for you to sit here and go along with the lie? Does anybody? What fear? What fear? Fear of what? Fear of what exactly? Like, I'm just stuck on that part out of fear. What fucking fear? Fear from leaders? Fear from higher ups? Like, what fear did. It ain't. The math ain't mathing with me, man. It ain't. But whatever. Today, in open court, he accepted his responsibility for what he did. He pleaded guilty. He accepted responsibility, and today is a new day. So basically, you just saying, well, he accepted what he did, so let's move on. It is what it is. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Heather. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, Am. He accepted a plea deal. He took responsibility, and it's a new day. So let's move on. Don't y'all talk about it. We're not finna go through this shit. It is what it is, y'all. No, he took responsibility for using it wasn't even excessive force and lying on documents. That's about it. He hasn't taken responsibility for the murder. He hasn't taken responsibility of the kidnapping. He hasn't taken responsibility of y'all basically beating him to fucking death. Y'all haven't done none of that. But today's a new day, though, y'all. We're on a fresh start. We're on a new foot. Shit. That's the federal. State is something different. State still gunning for their ass. There was a slew of activists in the courtroom in addition to Nichols' parents, Rovon and Rodney Wells. The Wells sat between noted civil rights attorney Ben Crump and attorney Antonio Romanucci, who are representing the family in the federal civil suit. So you got three different things going on at once. You got the civil suit, you got the federal case, and then you have the state case going on. All of this is happening at the same time. The federal case, they are trying to push fast. They are. They're pushing that shit fast, quick, and in a hurry. And I've noticed that because everybody else, you're going to wait 2 to 3, 4 years before you even see a federal judge. But for some reason, this case right here, this one is, it's moving through the system pretty fucking fast. And I wonder why that is. But whatever. All of the officers charged face a minimum sentence of life in federal prison. The U.S. Department of Justice could have sought the death penalty in the case, but told defense soon after the indictment was unsealed that they would not be seeking that. And once again, there is no parole in the federal system. So no, they cannot, if they are convicted in federal court, they can't get 10 years probation. You have to go. If the judge says you have to do 10, you have to do 10. But what they're going to do is they're going to run it concurrent. I guarantee it. Once that federal case ends, they're going to begin state. When they begin state and whatever state sentences them, it's all going to run concurrent. So there's not going to be like a 20, then plus you got another 20. It's not going to work like that. So if he gets 20 out of the federal case and then turn around and get 20 in the state case, It's not going to be 40 years. It'll be more like 15. But with federal, though, there is no time cutting because there is no day for day anymore. They cut that shit out. So he would do the full 20. Now, stateside, that's a little bit different. You can do a little time cut. Um, This is not something we take for granted that police officers will be held accountable and sentenced to real prison time for killing black people in America, Crump told reporters after the plea hearing. Normally, we see a slap on the wrist. Both Rovon and Rodney Wells said they were content with the guilty plea, adding that they would prefer that all officers plead guilty and avoid trial. I feel like we're going in the right direction, accepting responsibility, Rovon said after the press conference. We still have three more that we need to find guilty or they need to plead guilty. And I'm with you on that, Mama. I'm hoping we don't have to go to trial. I really hope. I don't want to put my kids through all of that, but if we have to, we will. I have to tell you this, Rovon, somebody's going to take it to trial. That's not being ugly. That's not being mean. Sometimes you'll win in trials, sometimes you don't. And if I was those officers, I would take it to trial. I'm not gonna lie to you because people are sympathetic to police officers compared to just pleading out. At peak, I told nonsense that I was like, they're not gonna be in GP. And try me, what's up? I told her they're not there because what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna end up like Chauvin ass. I swear to God, especially with the folks they put in jail already on them bogus ass drug charges. That's why the DA had to drop 30 to 40 of the cases that Scorpion unit handled because they was falsifying documents, not notating shit correctly, all type of shit. That's why they dropped them cases because they knew if they would have took that shit to trial, them folks would have had another fucking lawsuit on their hands. So think about all the folks that they already locked up and didn't get out. You think they ain't got a bone to pick with these weird ass officers? Shit. Guards always let it happen. Don't let nobody tell you different. Guards be doing shit and they know they be doing shit, and I'm hoping that after today that the other three will look in the mirror and look at themselves and say that they're guilty because they know they are. Martin now joins Mills, who pleaded guilty to using excessive force and conspiracy to witness tamper in November of 2023. Mills also pleaded guilty in the state criminal case, but it's not clear yet what charges will be included in that case. So we don't even know if he's going to get charged with the murder charge in the state case. The sentencing, Shelby County DA Mulroy said in November, will be identical to the federal state, and it is to be served at the same time as the state sentence. Mills' plea came with a recommended sentence of 15 years. Yep, you heard that right. 15 years for killing a man and beating him to death. You heard it. You heard it. In federal prison. Romanucci, after Friday's plea hearing, said the 40-year sentence was a powerful statement of retribution that reflected the mountains of evidence that are accumulating. The pleas will prevent Mills and Martin from appealing their convictions. Hey, Kathy R. They've been hollering 15 years. They feel like that's enough. They've been hollering. That's why I said If y'all think we're finna get 40, 50, 60-year sentences, you're out your rabbit ass mind. It's not gonna happen. It's not. It's not. I hate to say that, and I try to have hope and faith, but I'm also realistic. I know how our state does. It's like I told nonsense earlier. If Eliza Fletcher's family couldn't even sue the city of Memphis and MPD because they failed to test DNA grape kits, that Eliza would still be alive today if they would have tested said kids. Ooh, that breeze feel good as hell. If they would have tested said kid, she would still be alive. Well, NPD, City of Memphis said, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, wait, y'all. We're not obligated to investigate a motherfucking thing. So no, that shit wasn't our fault. That ain't our fault. Get the fuck out of here. And that shit got thrown out of court. I'm not lying. Look it up. They straight up said we are not obligated to fucking investigate a motherfucking thing. So what the fuck we got you for? Because I could have sworn that was a part of a cop, detective, investigator's job to investigate shit. But what? Once again, what do I know? Yeah, they straight up said it. The lawyer straight up said, the lawyer of MPD and the city of Memphis said, man, we ain't obligated to investigate a motherfucking thing. So bye bye lawsuit, and the judge agreed and threw that shit out of court. And that was a billionaire heiress. So if they're doing that to a white woman that was a billionaire heiress, what you think is gonna happen during Tyree's trial? And I'm not being ugly, I'm just being 100. What you think is gonna happen? She had the complexion for the protection and had the money. Them folks said, and what that mean? Fuck out of here. That lawsuit ain't finna stand. And that's pretty much what happened. And it's sad because they were right. If they would have tested the kids when it happened, Cleo ass would be in. He would have been back in jail. He should have stayed in jail. He was a sexual deviant, man. Fucking evil ass piece of shit. Few words were used by Martin during the hearing. The former MPD officer responded to Norris' quick questions with simple yes, sir, or no, sir, but for one instance where he said he was there to change his plea. When Norris asked Martin how he wished to plead, Martin replied with one word, guilty. As he said that word, Norris moved on to accept the plea deal. Rovon Wells was nodding her head and offered a small smile to an activist who was rubbing her shoulder after Martin entered the plea. Each officer in the state is charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of official misconduct, and 1 count of official oppression. It's not clear what counts Mills and Martin will plead guilty to in the state court. So, in other words, they're probably not finna get. They're probably not finna get the um, murder charges on them. I highly doubt it. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong, but they were still backed up. We're years backed up. It was not clear Friday afternoon whether Martin will also plead guilty in his state case. The Shelby County District Attorney's Office did not respond to questions prior to the hearing asking if Martin had entered a guilty plea with their office and if it would be similar to Mills' plea if Martin had entered into one. After the hearing, Mulroy's office issued the following statement. Today, Emmett Martin entered a guilty plea in federal court, which will lead to a substantial and well-deserved sentence. From the beginning, our office has closely coordinated our state prosecution with federal prosecution. We expect that at an appropriate time, Martin will enter a similar plea in the state court. This marks another important step towards closure for the family of Tyre Nichols. No, it's not, but I digress. While today's development is significant, there's still more work to be done. The public deserves confidence that those responsible for enforcing the law will be held accountable for excessive force. We remain committed to this fight for justice for Tyre. So is that why yesterday y'all had 4 black men strung out by the U of M, actually over there by the U of M, laying on the fucking hot ass sidewalk, going through their pockets and shit? The gang mentality shit, yeah, it hasn't stopped. It hasn't. Actually, it's probably gotten worse since they reverted back to the old laws and can do the pretextual stops and all of that shit. Hey, Running Bear, hey, Nip. Um, they're still doing it. They're still doing fuck shit, basically. Both the state and federal charges stem from the officers pulling Nichols over in the evening hours of January 7th, 2023. It just blows my mind how fast this case is going. Any other trial, it would be 3 to 4 years. I'm telling y'all what I know. But this one, they are really pushing this one through. Hey, Cash. MPD initially said Nichols had been driving recklessly and then got into an altercation with officers. But MPD interim chief, how the fuck you still the interim chief? That part right there. How the fuck is you? Speak up, yo, like, bruh, you still the interim chief. You don't even know if you still got a goddamn job. I guarantee her job depends on this trial. I guarantee it. I guarantee her job depends on these fucking trials. And if they are found guilty, because if they, here's the thing, if they let her go now, they just admitted guilt on the city of Memphis side. So we have to hold, we got to keep this bitch on the roster until all the court shit is behind us. Like, if it wouldn't, if they wouldn't have had all this court shit going on, I guarantee her ass would not be having a job right now. Yes, Janice, we've had, soon as this happened, the DOJ was here. Soon as it happened, the DOJ was here investigating policies and procedures by MPD, and they got dinged on quite a few things that they was fucking doing that they shouldn't have been doing. All right, they changed the laws, then turned around right after it was some shit. Oh, when the motherfuckers started back stealing and shit again and robbing and stealing folks' cars at gunpoint. They said, fuck that, we going back to pretextual stops because that's the only way we can keep crime down. So that's what they started doing. But some of these pretextual stops always end up with somebody getting their ass beat or something like that. Which there's another thing that just got passed in Tennessee that a lot of people don't know about, and my amigos need to be careful. They really do. Because Tennessee is not a sanctuary state at all. Okay? They just passed a law basically giving police the right to pull over any Latino, Mexican, any of that, and they have the right to ask them for their paperwork. And if they cannot provide their visas and passports and shit like that, they're calling ICE on them. They just passed that shit here. They did it slick as hell because they threw it in with the DV shit. People need to be paying attention to what laws get passed in this state. They were so hounded on the DV laws that they never read further down the fucking list. Yes, if you're Latino, Mexican, Spanish, whatever you want to consider yourself, be careful because they have every right to pull you over now, pull you out the car, ask for your paperwork, and if you don't have it, they're calling ICE. And I'm like, so what about the dream kids? Like, out of these folks, like, what the fuck? But yeah, they did that. They did that shit slick like. Just like they're trying to pass this law where it has, thank God it didn't get passed this year. One of the senators is trying to get a law passed to where you cannot record police. Talking about they already got body cam footage, what you need to record them for. Basically, they're trying to take away our rights as citizens and reporting on them. They're just trying to take that shit away. They're slowly trying. They like gun rights. Oh, y'all can have those. Y'all can have that. We don't give a fuck about that. But when it comes to important rights like being able to record or being able to speak out and doing this and doing that, can't do that. I don't make the laws. But they did. They passed over 400 laws July 1st, and one of them was that. So I started calling all my amigo friends and letting them know, please be careful because MPD has every right to basically search and seize. Just like our jails. Our jails is under investigation with the DOJ. You know how many deaths we had this year alone at the 201? Well, I can't really, I don't know an accurate number because they lie every goddamn week, but I know it's more than 5. I do know that. One of them just died. They don't even know how the fuck he died. .201 and the Penal Farm, because Penal Farm is under investigation too. They're trying to figure out how they're still getting contraband in. Even though 2 guards was already caught bringing shit in. It's the guards. And then folks, right? What folks fail to realize, Penal Farm is literally right next to a goddamn big-ass park. And that park, guess what? You're able to fly drones. And it's easy. All you gotta do is attack the package to the drone, drop it in the yard. They already got cell phones in there, so all you gotta do is like, shit been sent. They'll go out to the yard, pick it up. So they're trying to investigate that and figure out what's going on with that too. I'm like, shit, it's your own people. That's what it is. Man, them folks is make, bitch. I wouldn't be giving no goddamn pound of weed or no half a pound, and for no goddamn $1,000, bitch. I'm not. Nope. Mm-mm. You gonna have to pay me 10K and up. Fuck out of here. But anyway, um, every time I see that interim chief, I get smiling because this bitch don't know if she got a job tomorrow or not. This it ain't funny, but it is funny. Goddamn, you deserve that, bitch. You created that group. One band, one sound, bitch. That's how I look at it. Anyway, Davis later said there was no evidence that Nichols was driving recklessly. Footage was later released by the city of Memphis showed Nichols complying with officers, even as officers who pulled Nichols over shouted conflicting commands. And if I remember correctly, it was over 71 fucking commands that they gave him in a 3-minute time frame. If I remember correctly, I'd have to go back and go look, but I believe it was over 71. Even as officers pulled Nichols out, shouting conflicting commands at him at the initial stop, Nichols was pulled from his car by officers and taken to the ground at taser point. Officers pepper sprayed Nichols and eventually jumped up from the scrum and ran towards his mother's house in Hickory Hill. Less than 100 yards from his mother, Rovon Wells' house, Nichols was tackled by additional officers. In the minutes that followed, they punched, kicked, pepper sprayed, and hit him with a baton. At points, officers were holding Nichols' arms while he was being struck. Officers did not appear to attempt render aid to Nichols at any point during the footage. Nichols was eventually taken to St. Francis Hospital in critical condition, which I still don't understand that one either, because why the fuck would you take a blunt force trauma patient to fucking St. Francis when you should have took him to the med, but I digress. He died 3 days later. His autopsy report listed his cause of death as blunt force trauma to the head, and manner of death as homicide. The 5 officers were indicted 3 weeks later after Nichols' death. The state case has faced delays, with attorneys agreeing to not go to trial before the federal case wraps up. The trial in the federal case is slated to begin September 9th. So they got the federal coming up on the 9th. And like I said, I know people want to see these folks locked away in prison for a very long time. But, like, I'm realistic and I know that's not going to happen. Even with it being black officers. Which to this day I'm still trying to figure out why white officers wasn't charged in this, because it was more than just black officers out there, and it was more than just black officers that ignored Tyre and refused to give him any medical treatment. Just like the paramedics, laughing and thinking that shit was funny when it wasn't. Well, we were told it was a pepper spray. You as a fucking EMT and as a paramedic know better. You know the signs of a trauma patient, so why did you play that stupid shit? Because that's exactly what you did. You played that stupid shit. You played dumb. Well, we were just told it was a pepper. Bullshit. You knew the time you got to the fucking scene. You knew he was fucked up. Y'all kept trying to sit this man and prop him up against the wheel, and he kept falling over. You knew knew he was fucked up. You get up, you laughing like the shit is funny. Like real deal laughing like it is funny. But you want somebody to have mercy on you? Where was Tyree's mercy? Because he made y'all fat asses run for once. He made y'all do y'all fucking job because y'all got mad because you stupid motherfuckers pepper sprayed one another. Everybody keep forgetting that part. That man pepper sprayed his own fellow fucking cops. That's why the fat bitch said, I hope when they catch him, they stomp his ass out. Because his fat ass sprayed everybody, except Tyree. And yet, let's take his life. Let's beat the shit out of him. Let's kill him. Let's do all of this. Because he made you motherfuckers wrong. Of course, I mean, that's automatic. Everybody knows that. You make an officer run, that's an automatic ass whooping. Everybody here knows that. That's not a secret. It's not. If you run, expect to get your ass beat or get hit with the car. I've had a lieutenant straight up tell me this out his mouth. You run, you getting hit or beat. One of the two. Or both. Folks was mad because they had to do their fucking job. Y'all lied and said he was driving reckless. Well, CJ came back and said, hold on, wait a minute. I ain't seen no reckless driving. Then you got motherfuckers like Tatum sitting here saying, the chief should be on the officer side. Now she distancing herself from that shit because she know the political fallout that's gonna come with this. She knows she's not gonna have a job much longer. Period. She know this. That's why they keep referring to her as interim chief. She know this. But the way the city is in right now, our school system is fucked up because they sat here and did some bogus ass shit with the teachers. They cut their pay, so guess what? Mass resignation. So all the good teachers have fucking basically left. They're probably with private charter schools now because, well, superintendent decided she want to send out a motherfucking email, and guess what? That email got leaked to the news. So then she had to sit there. Yes, it's true, but I was hoping that we could keep this internal. Bitch, ain't nobody finna keep this shit internal when you just basically cut their pay in half. Y'all don't give them enough supplies for school. Y'all sit here and basically put it. This city is fucked up on so many levels. Whether it's education wise, police wise, fucking political wise. Like I said, y'all had motherfuckers elect this bitch ass mayor. All because, and I'm going to say it, I don't give a fuck how nobody feel. People elected him because he was black. First thing that motherfucker did, we got to raise taxes. That was the first thing he did. And you know what else he did? A slap to the motherfucking face. We got to give 15 million extra to MPD so they can have overtime money. That's what our taxes is going to. It's not going to the schools that need it. It's going to raggedy ass MPD. Let's just be 100. That 15 million you just got, you probably finna have to give it to Tyree mama. But what do I know? I just live here. We just got a notice today. Guess what? TVA just went up on our fucking light bills again. So last month we had an adjustment. This month we're finna have adjustment. They said a 4.5 increase, which means you're gonna have an extra $5 to $10 on your bill every month now. Along with the extra $1,000 in taxes you have to pay on your property tax. And if you stay in the city, you have to pay city and county tax. But if you stay in the county, you only have to pay county. You ain't got to worry about city. But city residents, oh no, you get fucked with no loot, no nothing. Then they impregnate you, knock you the fuck up on a one night stand, and keep it pushing and say, figure it out. You got Elon here throwing money in the city council, facing them bitches is wagging they goddamn tail like they a goddamn dog. Yep, anything you say, Elon, we got you. We'll fix it. We got you. When y'all don't even know the fucking environmental impact that supercomputer is going to have on our ecosystem. But hey, let's do it because he's bringing jobs. Bitch brought 8 jobs. 8. 8. I have the list of jobs he brought. 8. Y'all want to fix what's really going on in this city? Start at the fucking top and work your way down. All the way to the goddamn mayor, because his ass got to go. He needs to go. Because I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. And people say I'm crazy. They are moving black folks the fuck out of this city. They are. They're pushing them out. Gentrification is fucking real. I don't care how anybody feels about it. I fucking see it. South Memphis was predominantly black. It was first black neighborhood in Memphis. Not no more. Now you see a white woman walking her dog and shit. And I ain't mad at it. But it's to that point where, you know what? They can't. Where's Big Mama supposed to go? You done raised her taxes up and she's living on fucking Social Security. Where's she supposed to go? Well, her grandbaby Pookie in the goddamn Ridgecrest apartments. If you know about Ridgecrest, they're fucking hellhole. Rat infested, cockroach infested. There's a fight in that bitch every goddamn day. There's a shootout in that hole every goddamn day. That's where you want grandma to stay? And I hate to say it, but we have to blame that shit on ourselves. We do. Because y'all, as Fika said previously, we need to stop looking at skin color. And we need to start looking at the policies that they vote on. We need to look at their voting records. We need to look at what they are for and what they're against. Because I guarantee half the people in Memphis didn't do their fucking research. They just saw, oh, a young black man and he looks successful. Why not? Give him a chance. Y'all gave him a chance, all right. Now he fucking us with no lube. Now everybody want to cry. No, you did that shit. You voted his ass in off of what you saw, not what you researched, not what you looked up, off of what you saw on TV with that debate, and you took it from there. And now has the folks in the city mad. The fuck you mad for? You did it to yourself. Like I said, this city is fucked up. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't. Me personally, I say start from the fucking top and then work your way down. A new mayor, a new police chief, a new this, a new that, new city council, because them bitches ain't doing shit either. We need better training for our officers. And I've met some pretty cool officers. I have. Shit, I had one the other day. It was cool as shit. Cool as shit. Wasn't on no, I'm take you to jail type shit. I explained the situation. I believe you just gone home and rest up. Say less. I was headed to the house anyway. But you, I don't know the solution, but every time I turn around, I just see it's more money out of our pockets to support the bullshit y'all are throwing in front of us. And I can't get behind it. Like the $15 million for the goddamn MPD overtime. The fuck? What? $15 million for overtime for NPD. Me personally, don't you think that 15 million would have went better towards more training as far as like prime example, mental health? Because our cops here, they don't know how to deal with mental health. They don't. Very few on the force know how to deal with it. Like I was very surprised that day that one of the MPD officers, it was a lady, she was able to talk a young man. He was on the bridge. He was on the Memphis Bridge that goes into Arkansas. And he was about to jump, and um, she was able to talk him down, and he wouldn't have survived it. He wouldn't have, like, out there, that water in the Mississippi, he wouldn't have survived it. He wouldn't have. But she was able to talk him down. And of course, they made a news story about it, yada yada, things like that. But, mm-mm. Yeah, we don't get none of that here. We get none of that, Janice. None of that. I don't even think we can do it by mail. You have to go to a location that's strictly for you. You can't if you can't vote outside of that location, or your vote's not going to count. Donna, because they don't care. They don't. They don't. They don't care. If you don't have money for them to make money off of, if you don't have insurance for them to make money off of, if you do not have all of the bells and whistles for them to make money off of you, they're going to throw your ass right back in the street. Unfortunately. They don't care. They don't. As far as mental health wise, we're so behind on mental health in this city. It's ridiculous. And then too, on top of that, there's already a stigma. Once again, I gotta talk to my black people. They love hollering mental health ain't real, they just need a good ass whooping. No, mental health is real. Let's stop that bullshit, because that's gonna get somebody hurt and killed. Us as black people need to start admitting that yes, there's mental health issues out here, and it's already a stigma. A black man shouldn't be going through mental health. A black woman shouldn't be. Bullshit. Bullshit. And of course, because we're in the Bible Belt, their fucking favorite thing to go to, just talk to God. So you think talking to God is gonna help that motherfucker that's hearing voices in his head telling him to kill everybody? You think that? All right. Donna, I'm sorry. Donna, you actually sound like my aunt. I hate to say that, but you do. My cousin was like that. He's mentally fucked up. He's serving 3 life sentences now in Parchman though. He uh he beat his mom and held her hostage for 3 days on a bench. I had to call police the sheriffs, because it was down there in Ripley. I had to call them so many times for them to finally believe me and go in the house and get her out, because they wouldn't bust in the house. They said, "Well, ma'am, we can't just bust in the house because you said." I was like, "Ma'am, I have the pictures. I can show you. I can send it to your cell phone if you'd let me." Because my weak ass cousin, the other cousin that seen it, his scary ass, he didn't say shit. He gonna call me and tell me, Billy done beat up Donna pretty bad. Y'all might want to check up on her. Fuck you mean? So you just left her? Anyway, he ended up running out the house. Took them 3 days to find him, but when they found him, I will say the sheriff's office did me a solid. I will say that they beat the shit out of him. They did. And I'll be the first one to tell you that's the first time I ever sat here and said, beat his ass, officer. Beat his ass. He deserves it. Because he did. He deserved it. If y'all would have saw his mama's face. She didn't deserve that. As she passed on, actually. She passed on a few months ago, right after my cousin. It happened that same week. My cousin, she was found in the back of a car, rolled up in a blanket, suspected OD. They never investigated it. And it wasn't even like 4 days later she passed. So we had 2 funerals back to back, literally. But it's like I said, hell, she's with her son, Charbear. So she's finally at peace, because when her other son passed, she wasn't right. She wasn't right, no way. She was a nurse, a pediatric nurse, but she was a NICU nurse for terminal kids. And she had to quit. She wasn't right. It fucked her up mentally. she ended up having a mental breakdown. And she's like, do you know how fucked up it is to see a child suffering and there's not a damn thing you can do about it because you know one day you're going to walk in that room and they'll not be there? So she retired, and after that she would work odd jobs here and there, but I don't know. Hell, on my mama said there's not many of us left. Honestly, everybody's either in drugs, jail. So I get the addiction beast. It runs on both sides of my family, actually. So I get it, and I just hate the fact that especially black people, I'm just gonna say it for what it is. They don't want to admit that there's a mental health crisis issue going on. And like people said, no, they didn't want to acknowledge that this epidemic, as far as drug wise, they didn't want to acknowledge it. See, what it was they didn't think white folks would do it. Surprise, surprise. And guess what? White folks started doing it. Just like the pain pills. Used to, baby, you could get pain pills like it was fucking Peds, candy. I remember we used to get them for like $2, $3 a piece. That was the good old days. I used to get some pills, might be good. Now, you literally gotta have a damn near a broke arm. A bone has to be broke for you to get. You're not getting none. You're not getting shit. Shit, just like when I just went through this shit with my arm. Like, can I get something for it? Yeah, ibuprofen. The fuck? I got plenty of that. I don't want that. No, I didn't want any pain meds, but something other than ibuprofen. They gave me ibuprofen. Pretty much. Well, it helps with the inflammation and swelling. I got plenty of that shit at the house. If I wanted that, don't you think I'd take that? But that bitch blue as hell now. It's starting to heal up though. I can tell it's pushing that infection out because it was itching last night. Shit, people, when I broke mine, they wasn't trying to give me none. That's the crazy. The hospital did. But when I started going to the foot doctor, like, he literally only gave me two and said, that's it. You can't get no more. Two of like 20 pills. That was it. Like, he straight up said it. You can't get no more. What the fuck? Take aspirin, naproxen, ibuprofen. And if you have like a high tolerance level like I do, because I did take shit back in the day, that shit don't work. It don't. I can pop fucking naproxen and ibuprofen like it's fucking candy and it doesn't faze me. It doesn't help either because it doesn't take any pain away. Yeah, try this shit now, Pika. They're not gonna give it to you. I guarantee they're not. Because they don't want to give it to you even when you had a broke goddamn foot. They don't. That was years ago. Try that shit now. It ain't gonna happen. Shit, do you know how many doctor's offices I've been in that straight up said, we're not giving out pain meds unless you have a broken bone. And even then, some of them still won't give them to them. Like they're not giving that shit out no more. Which is sad because the people that actually needs it, which is like the cancer patients and shit like that need it, they go through hell. Oh hell, them niggas finna come over this way. I hear 'em. I just, if they blow that shit under my carport like they did last time, I'm showing my ass though. Cause last time they fucking blew all of that shit under my carport. I was looking for their ass. What? Hey, get that shit out from under my carport. And this bullshit blowing this shit up under my carport. But yeah, they not. Josh, your guess is just as good as mine. I don't know shit. They didn't want me to be great today, so fuck them. Bitches, I wanted to show my video that Dutch made. Bitch asses. You can't, no connection. What the fuck? I'm looking at my internet. I see it's working. The fuck you mean? I don't know. It was being weird. May have been user error though. I don't know, but and hence why I called nonsense before the live. That's another reason why it took me so long because I had called her. I had a few questions about StreamYard and YouTube and connecting them and things like that. All the other shit I figured out how to do, but it wouldn't let me. I don't know why it wouldn't. It wouldn't connect at all. So then when I would try to change something in there, it would be like, nope, can't change that. You need to do a new live. That's why I just ended up creating a whole new fucking live, which was the third one, I think, because the first one I had accidentally deleted. Yeah, so. Yeah, they getting plea deals, but it don't make it no better when his own mama said she doesn't want to go to trial. Which I understand why she doesn't want to go to trial. I get that. Hey, Candy. Trial can be long, it can be hard, it can be painful. Bringing up images and recounting testimony, all of that, it can be painful, especially to the parents. So I get it. But at the same time, them pleading isn't helping. It's not. I'm going to be honest, Mama. It's not helping because of where they could have, should have, probably not, but it was a slight possibility. They could have got 60 to 70 years. Now we're down to 15. And like I said, don't expect these folks to get 30, 40, 50 years because it's not going to happen. It's not. There is a civil case. You got 3 trials going on right now. You have the civil, you have the federal, and you have the state. The civil, they are suing for millions. They're not going to win, unfortunately. City of Memphis always finds a way to get out of these lawsuits, and they're going to find a way to get out of this one. So, unfortunately, Mama and them is not going to win that. The federal, they never got charged with murder with the federal case. So even with them pleading guilty, the max they'll get is 15 years, possibly. The only good thing about federal is there is no probation, so you cannot get 15 years on probation. State wise, they did get hit with murder charges, but it's second-degree murder, plus the official kidnapping and official misconduct. And that. The thing is, though, they're not, as far as state wise, half of those charges is going to get dropped. They're going to plead out, and it's going to be 20 years max. They've already said it's going to be concurrent. It's running together. They already said that. So they said if the state gives them 20 and if the feds give them 20, it's going to be 20 flat. No 40, none of that. They've already said it's all running concurrent. So that's why I'm saying don't have high hopes for this case, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get the 40, 50, 60 years that folks thought we. You're not going to get it. I'm not being ugly. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. You're not going to get it. Not in this city. Even with them being black officers. It's not going to happen. Hell no. Let me kill somebody. We want capital punishment. Murder. Death, right? Yeah, we want death. So yeah, that's why I said I expect another one to plead out. They've already said, they've been talking about it. Most likely they will get 15 years federally. But as far as state-wise, half of those charges is going to get dropped. I got a feeling. Because they was like, the judge, he has the final say as far as federal-wise. Well, here's the issue. And our lovely DOJ sat here and told them from the motherfucking jump, we're not seeking the death penalty, y'all. We're not seeking that. What? My black ass, you would have seeked it. Anybody else black ass or shit, even white folks, if they would have killed somebody, y'all be seeking a goddamn death penalty on us. But because they're cops. Josh, it won't. You want to know why it won't? Because they will be in PC. They're not finna release these cops into GP. Don't. They're not gonna do it. They're not. They're not. It's not gonna happen. Now Chauvin was a one-off, but these, it's not gonna happen. They are going to protect them as long as they can in PC. Mark my words. No, it's not. That's like somebody be arguing with me talking about, man, they take care of chomos. No, the fuck they don't. There are some prisons that do. Then there are some prisons I know for a fact. They don't give a fuck what's on your fucking rap sheet. As long as you got an able body and able to fight for that gang, they don't give a fuck what you got on your record. You could have did it to a 2 year old. They don't care. You a goddamn soldier in their gang. They don't care. Like, I know for a fact down in Parchment, you can be a chomo and every goddamn thing else. Guess what? They not finna shank you up, none of that. All you gotta do is pledge your allegiance to a certain goddamn gang, and ain't nobody gonna touch a motherfucking hair on your head. Real shit. And I know this for a fact. This came out of Royal City Crip. He straight up told me, "Nah, we need the numbers right now. I can't afford to be shanking folks up and shit." This he straight up told me this shit out of his mouth. They not doing what they need to do in prison with these folks. Period. It's unfortunate, but that's the society we live in nowadays. Yeah, there's no more politics. There ain't no more. Let me see your jacket. How you can't bunk with me because you got chomo. They don't give a fuck about that. They just read. You can fight. I bet you were 60 now. They don't give a fuck about if you hurt an innocent child. They don't care. People need to stop with this misconception. Like, I hate when people, I know the prison's gonna take care of them. No, the fuck they not. No, they not. Sure, in some supermax prisons, yes. But in like these rink-a-dink prisons, like Parchment, nah, nope. The penal farm, nope. The one near Nashville, nope. You can walk in that bitch and tell them, show them your paperwork, and say, I raped a child. Guess what? They don't give a fuck. Sure, come on, buddy, join the gang. It's about numbers game in prison, what a lot of people fail to understand. The more men that you have representing your gang, the more of a stronghold that you have over that prison as far as narcotics and contraband coming in and out. When you're a small and weak ass gang, you ain't got no smoke. You ain't. So of course you got to recruit and bring in people, and if that means bringing in the shittiest of the shittiest, then so be it. And that's what people fail to realize. It's not personal. It's just straight up what it is. They're doing it as a business. And if that little foot soldier loses his life in the yard one day because they had a big ass brawl, then so be it. But it wasn't because this man was a, you know what. It ain't even about running the ponds. It's about the money. It's about the money, period. Do you know how much money you can make in prison? A cell phone. Just a regular cell phone, the one you can get from the dollar store. Regular cell phone. That joint is $2,000 in the prison. Them little $50 phones you can get from Family Dollar and shit. $2,000 in prison. You know how much a charger block is in prison? 500. You know how much a piece of weed is in there? $50. A gram is about $50. Now, depending on who you know and what you know, and if you got people that you know fuck with you, like my homie, that man was in there getting grams of fin for 20, which was a goddamn deal because anybody else, that shit would have been $50. It's about the money. It ain't about running shit. It's about the money. It's about the numbers. It's about how many people I can funnel this through contraband through so I can make my money. And then what I'll do is I'm going to spread it out on books so they can't track it back to me. I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to put money on this Cash App because that's what they use. Cash App, Venmo, all of that shit. I'm going to put money on this Cash App, money on this Cash App, money on this Cash App. I've legit seen men in prison with bankrolls of money. Literally. And folks is like, how the fuck they get money? Don't be slow. Do not be slow. Like I said, the prison guards let what they want happen. FYI. That's why the guards cannot be trusted at all because all of them are bought and paid for. Technically. Yes, they do. That's why when folks be like, man, prison, don't nobody want to go to prison. No, you really don't. But it's not like y'all making it seem. I promise it's not what y'all think it is. It's not. It's not. I promise it ain't. But how the fuck you know? I know. I know. I'm telling y'all, it is not what folks think it is. It ain't folks doing hard labor like they used to back in the days and shit where they had to be outside on the chain gang. It ain't like that no more. Them folks in there playing video games. They talking on tablets. They in there motherfucking making deals. They motherfucking recording music through the jail phone. They hustling the jail phone because if you're not in a certain peak, it's, bruh, it's not what you think it is. I'ma tell you that. That's a fucking walk in the park for them folks, okay? Damn, y'all loud as shit. Echoing and shit. Damn. That's what I'm saying, Josh. Like, that's what I said. Folks can sit here and think prison, man, like, these folks really, man, them folks ain't finna do a motherfucking thing to no chomo, no none of that. Sad but true. And just like y'all think the motherfucking warden don't know what's going on in his prison, when they be making these big ass drug busts, you think them wardens don't know? You think these folks really don't know what's going in and out they prison? Alright. You ain't gotta believe me. Just talk to some of the gang members that y'all know. If you know any, shit, I can hook you up with a few of them. If you ever want to really have a conversation with one, they're respectful and they'll be honest with you and tell you what it's like on the inside. Yeah, there's rough days. You'll see folks get shanked the fuck up. You'll see folks get killed. You'll see folks all type of shit. But it's cause and effect. It wasn't because of what was on their jacket or what's on their record. I guarantee if somebody got shanked the fuck up and killed, it was because they was stealing out of a pod and they knew better. Especially if you steal from a pod boss. If you do that, you real fucked up. That's an automatic, pretty much death sentence in their eyes. You have some, Josh. You have some that come into into the system thinking that they can fix and change something, and they can do that. They can help the inmates on a level, but the issue is some of these inmates don't want to be saved, and also some of these inmates need mental help. Not locked in a kennel, but mental help. And when you're just adding on to that mental trauma by locking them in cages like they're fucking animals and things like that, it does no good for them mentally. That's why it says prisons do more harm than good. A lot of them, anyway, is privatized. Like I've told y'all this before, look at your 401k portfolios to make sure you're not investing in private prisons, because a lot of y'all are and you don't even realize it. Privatized prisons, I've never agreed with, won't agree with, and no, no. Take my money, move it elsewhere. Well, that's again, I don't give a fuck if it's gonna generate $1 million goddamn dollars. Move my money elsewhere. I am not fit to make money off of somebody else's plight and fucking pain. What's so hard about that? Because private prisons is one of the most booming things you can invest in, unfortunately. Because private prisons ain't going nowhere no fucking time soon, as how we see. And Donna, most of them are. That's the thing. Prisons are no longer ran by the state. They have guidelines from the state, but they're no longer ran by the state. Majority of them are privatized. Yes, absolutely. There's an incentive to keep them locked up, just like they was doing with the kids in the group homes and shit. They did the same thing to teenagers. A judge here in Tennessee, as a matter of fact, got in trouble for that shit. He was sentencing these kids to this camp, but it was a prison for teenagers, basically. And every time they would come to him, every time they would come to him, they would fucking, he would extend the time. They were supposed to be getting out. He would extend the time on their ass. Come to find out, he was getting kickbacks from that fucking, group home, prison, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you know who owns majority of the prisons here? It's crazy as hell. A lot of them are owned by pharmaceutical companies. Now you do the math on that. What would a pharmaceutical company be doing owning a prison? Now keep in mind that some of the recent news y'all have seen coming out. How many times have they got caught testing on prisoners on medicine? Just saying. Food for thought. Fed is always going to be worse, Bubba. Fed is always going to be worse than state. Because feds, feds got their shit together. They actually have they they got their shit together, okay? Feds ain't playing. Feds is no. They have the state wise though. That should have walk in the park. Local wise, that should have walk in the park. State, only a certain amount of time you can be out. Certain amount of time you can be out your pod. No, you cannot have goddamn cell phones and TVs and Fed. It also depends on the level of security. If it's a low minimum Fed security, then yes, absolutely. But if you in a high max Fed security, you can't do shit. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like 23 and 1 in max, if I'm not mistaken. So, area. When I found that out, I said, well, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. So you buy a prison out, then the pharmaceutical drugs that you're trying to market to the FDA, you can test on the prisoners and what would they know and do a trial and error that way instead of doing it and paying folks. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. Just saying. Shit, majority of them do, Nip. A lot of them do. A lot of them do get high to numb the pain. Or a lot of them get high to numb the trauma. A lot of them do. I'm about to get off here anyway. I gotta go to the store. And there's too much shit going on outside for me today. I don't like all this movement shit. I don't. But no, I saw that and I said, yep, here, those dominoes finna start falling. And I hate to say it, I don't think y'all are finna get 30, 40 years of justice for Tyre Nichols' death. It's not gonna happen. We'll be lucky if they do get the full 15. That's recommended sentence. That's not a guaranteed sentence. So I'm trying to remain hopeful, but I'm also realistic with it. Right along with the lawsuit, right along with the state and federal cases. So it is what it is, but we'll keep an eye on it. I just know their trial starts, the federal trial starts September 9th. So, um, no, my ass will not be in the courtroom. Just going to ahead and tell y'all that now. No, I will not, because I have to work a full-time job. I'm not Betty or any of them hoes where I can just sit in court all day and listen to bullshit. I'm not none of them bitches. I can't do that. So, yeah. Um, but hopefully, this family can get some type of justice and solace. I know I know in this case, I, Mama wants them to plead guilty and just not take it to trial, but at the same time, Mama, what you don't understand is if they constantly plead, and the recommended sentence is 15, that's probably the max they gonna get is 15. But then again, it also depends on the jury who they select and all of that shit. So I'm wondering how that shit's gonna work. We do need justice for him, but I don't think it's gonna happen how folks think it is. Folks want a life sentence, you're not gonna get it. Period. And if it does happen, I'll stand and correct myself. Y'all know I have no problem eating crow. But at this time, I don't think it's gonna happen. Even with Derek Chauvin, he got what, 20 years? And we watched him kill a man on live TV. Breonna Taylor, we watched them barge in her house, shoot her boyfriend, killed her, then tried to charge her boyfriend with bullshit just so they could get out of a lawsuit. I mean, come on. We've seen it countless times and times again, and people still not tired apparently, because we can sit here and protest and march all goddamn day long. But until we actually start and try to get action and shit done, not this protesting shit and not tearing up shit and not looting shit, but actually going to our capitals and fucking speaking and actually going before the Senate and trying to get laws changed, that would be more helpful. But what do I know? I just think it's funny. And I've said it before. Between January 8th and January, probably about the 20th, you couldn't fucking go nowhere without seeing news crews, reporters, none of that. Activists, Ben Crump, everybody and they goddamn mama, Jesse, all of these folks. Where the fuck are y'all at now? Now that this shit has started, where the fuck y'all at? Josh, that's what I'm saying. You have to do that though, as a citizen. You can sit here and say, I'm gonna sign a petition. That ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Get your ass up and be about it and do it. You can talk the talk all goddamn day long, but if you ain't walking that motherfucking walk, you just wasting time. Period. And I know some people know they don't have they don't they don't have the sources or, funds to do shit like that, I'm not expecting you to go march on fucking Capitol Hill. You know what I'm saying? But we have to do more in order for our voices to be heard. Because as long as we keep singing fucking kumbaya and just sitting here and waiting for something to happen, it's not going to happen. Period. And that's what people fail to realize. They think that shit is just going. No, it's not. So get up off your ass and do something. Do something productive. You say you care about your missing kids, fucking do something about it. You say you're an advocate for missing kids, do something about it. You say you're an advocate for black people, do something about it. You say you're an advocate for prison inmates that's been falsely accused, do something about it. Don't be fucking talking just to get views. And that's what a lot of these people do. So, but y'all have a good day, y'all. I'm finna hop down and get out of here because, like I said, I got shit I need to do myself today. So, I appreciate it. Y'all, please be sure to hit that like button and I will catch y'all the next live. All right. Peace.